Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to be walking you through some of the online resources that you can access with your library card through the New Westminster Public Library's website. First we're going to go to our website, which is nwpl.ca. Now, to access any of the online resources that I'm going to talk about, you will need a library card and PIN number. If you have a library card, your PIN number is the last 4 digits of your phone number. If you have a library card but you can't find it, you're not sure where it is, or you don't know what your PIN number is, you can email the library at askus@nwpl.ca anytime, and we'll help you out with that. If you need to get a library card, on our website under Using the Library, go to e-card registration. This will allow you to register for a library card without coming to the library while we're closed. If you already have a regular library card, you do not need to get an e-card. All you have to do is fill out the registration form here with your information, and you need to provide a phone number or email address that we can reach you at. Once you've submitted this form, library staff will create your card and then email or phone you with the number and PIN. This can take a little while, depending on staff availability, so do get that done as soon as possible if you don't have a library card already. To get to the library's online resources, go to our website and go to Online Resources and choose Resources by Subject. Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our eBooks that you can access just for fun, for reading for pleasure, and some of our research sources that will be helpful for schoolwork and research projects. Under Resources by Subject, we have eBooks and audiobooks, learning, movies, newspapers and magazines, repairs, and research. And we're going to focus on eBooks and learning. These are the two categories that will have most of the resources that you will want to access as students. But if you like, go through all of our resources at your own pace, have a look and see what we have. You might find useful and interesting things in there as well, but I'm going to go over the big ones. So starting with eBooks, we'll go to eBooks and audiobooks, and our main catalog for eBooks is called Library to Go. It's also sometimes called Overdrive. And if you have a smartphone or a tablet or a mobile device connected to the internet, you can download the Libby app or the Overdrive app. I tend to recommend Libby because it's much easier to set up and much more user-friendly, so that's the one that I recommend, but either will work. If you're on a computer like I am right now, you'll just click log into Library to Go. When you get to the Library to Go website, you'll want to sign in so that you can see the entire catalog. You can browse without signing in, but it will not show you all of the books that are available. You'll choose your library, New Westminster Public Library, and then you will put in your library card number and sign in. Once you're here, you can browse the collections, ebooks and audiobooks. You can see what's available right now. You can see new editions, the most popular things. You can also search for specific items. So you can just type in what you're looking for and you'll get your results. You can also narrow the results to what is available right now, whether it's an ebook or an audiobook, the language, and other things. So you can play around a little bit with that. You can also place holds on items if they're not available. Borrowing from Library to Go works exactly like borrowing print materials from the library in that we have a certain number of copies, and if something is checked out, you can put a hold on it and go on the waiting list. When you want to borrow a book, find a book that's available right now. Right now all of the Harry Potter books are being made available all the time, so I'm just going to pick one of those, and you'll just hit borrow. It will ask you how long you want to borrow the book for. You can have it for a maximum of 21 days, just like print books at the library, and hit borrow. You have the option to download it, but on most computers you will not have the appropriate software to do so. So I would choose Read Now in browser. Now if you're on your phone using the Libby or Overdrive apps, you skip this step entirely. It downloads directly to the bookshelf in the app and you just tap on it to read it. It's much more streamlined. But if we want to read this book on our computer, we just hit Read Now in browser and it will open the book up for us right here, just like that. You can also at any time go to My Account and see your loans. So you can see everything that you have checked out right now. You can also see everything that you have on hold. And you can do things like make a wish list or rate titles, see your history of things that you've checked out before, etc. There are also some French books available in Library to Go, and the way to find those is to go to the search and then hit Advanced for the advanced search. You can then choose languages, French. You can narrow it down to just eBooks or audiobooks. Let's say we want to browse all the French titles that are eBooks that are available now and that are for young adults. And of course you can put in specific titles if you have a specific French title that you're looking for, but this is a nice way to browse the collection. We'll hit search and see what's there. It looks like we have a few, and we may want to expand our search as well. You see that 159 titles are filed under juvenile rather than young adult, and 600 under adult, so we might want to look at the juvenile ones as well to see if there's something that we might like. We see a whole bunch here that actually look pretty good. Another ebook service that we subscribe to is called Freading. This one is a little bit harder to use, to be honest. It's a little bit buggier, but the good thing about it is that you have no waiting lists. So the ebooks available on Freading are always available. You can borrow up to 3 per week, and there's no waiting list. If you're accessing Freading from a mobile device like a smartphone or tablet, you can download the Freading app. You will also need to create an Adobe ID the first time that you log in. The app will take you through the steps to do that. It's because Freading is owned by Adobe. They require you to create another login, but all you have to do is provide them an email address. It doesn't ask for a lot of other personal information. If you are on a computer, you'll just click Log into Freading, and it will prompt you to log in here in the top right corner. Before you log in, if you're using Freading for the first time, you will need to install Adobe Digital Editions, which is a piece of free software. The link is right here. So you'll just click on that and you will be prompted to download that program, either for Mac or for Windows. Once you've downloaded that, we'll log in to Freading with your library card number and PIN. Remember that your PIN is the last 4 digits of your phone number. We will log in, and now let's find a book. Let's say we're looking for books about space. Let's choose one. This is a good one. And we will click download. We'll open that up from our downloads. And the first time that you use Adobe Digital Editions, you'll be asked to create that Adobe ID. You'll choose Adobe ID as the ebook vendor. And if you don't have an Adobe ID yet, you'll click Create an Adobe ID. It'll walk you through that. You'll need to provide an email address. You'll put in your ID and password, click Authorize, and you'll be able to access your books. So you can also, if you prefer, just click I want to authorize my computer without an ID. That will mean that you can only read these books on the computer that you're sitting at right now. Click Next and Authorize and OK. Now it's downloading our book, and it will show up here in our bookshelf, and we can open it up. There it is. We also have access to Tumble Book Library and Teen Book Cloud. These are both served by the same company. Tumblebooks has usually easier books, picture books, read-alongs, easier chapter books, and Teen Book Cloud has ones that are more chapter books, more for middle school and high school. And all you have to do to access this is just log in to Teen Book Cloud. You put in your library barcode and your PIN, which you should be very used to doing by now. And when you log in, it will just look like this. The nice thing about Tumblebooks and Teen Book Cloud is, again, that there is no waiting list. You can just read these books in your browser without having to place a hold on them or anything like that. The catalog is smaller. There is less variety to choose from, but it's always available, so you can just pop right in and read something without waiting. So browse through that and see what catches your eye. They do have quite a few graphic novels in this collection, and those are always fun. Those of you who are in late French immersion may also appreciate the French titles in Tumble Book Library. If we log in, you'll see a tab that says Language Learning, and you'll find a small collection of French titles that are mostly easier ones, so these will be good for those of you who are just starting your French studies and need some extra practice. Under Learning, we have several resources that are helpful for school projects and just for your own general interest. We're going to start with the Encyclopedia of British Columbia, which, if you're doing a project about anything to do with British Columbia, history, geography, people, this is a great place to start. We'll log in, and it brings you right here. You usually don't have to put in your library card number for this one, but you do have to use the link from our website to get there. You can't just Google Encyclopedia of BC and be taken to the website. You have to come through the library website and click this link to access it. So when we get to the Encyclopedia of BC, we have a search box. You can put in whatever search you want. You can also browse subjects if you're not sure what you're looking for, or if you have a very broad topic and you're trying to find a thing to give you some ideas for a topic as well. There are also maps, and there is a very small French language section. There were only 3 articles so far in French about the history of British Columbia and an article about Vancouver and Victoria. They are adding more, but right now it is fairly limited. We can search for a famous person from British Columbia. Let's say Emily Carr. And we'll find several documents here. Right at the top, an article from the encyclopedia about Emily Carr right here. Another good resource is another encyclopedia, the World Book. Again, like the Encyclopedia of British Columbia, if you just Google World Book and go there, you won't get access to it. You need to come through the library website in order to get to it. We'll click Login to World Book. And here we are presented with several options. If you're doing a project in English, you'll want to click on Advanced right here, and this will take you to the online World Book that has the exact same text as what is in the print version that we have at the library. If you're doing research in French, you can go to l'Encyclopédie Découverte, and this is the French version of the site. So let's have a look. When we click on Advanced, we have the search bar right here. You can search for whatever you're looking for. Let's do a search. Let's try something really general like ancient Egypt. And you'll notice that we get an article on ancient Egypt, and we also get a bunch of related articles about more specific topics. We'll just click on the top link, ancient Egypt, and we have the entire article exactly as it appears in the print version of the book. You can also click on this icon right here to have the article read to you, and you'll notice that there are links within the article leading to other articles about related topics. You'll also find in some big articles like this one a tab called Related Information, and when you click on that you will get some additional useful resources that you can access that will be good resources for whatever topic it is that you're researching. So there will be other websites that they recommend, BBC History, Egyptians, the Institute of Egyptian Art, so you'll see that it gives you some extra ideas for doing your research to jump off of from here. And at the bottom of the article, this one's quite long, at the bottom of the article you will also see a guide on how to cite the article if your teacher has asked you to do a bibliography. We'll have a quick look at l'Encyclopédie Découverte. We'll click on that, and it works very, very similarly to the English site. Under Rechercher, we'll put in our search term, Égypte ancienne, and you will get the articles just as they appear in the French version of the World Book. The articles in the French version are usually a bit shorter, but they still have a lot of good information. The last learning resource that I'd like to highlight is Explora, and this is the one here. This is more advanced, and it's good for projects where you need a lot of information. When we click log in, it takes us to the page here, and the search box is right at the top here. We are going to, let's search for an example. Let's say that we're doing a project on Emily Carr, the famous Canadian painter. And you'll notice that we get a lot of results. We get 105 results, and that is a lot. Usually there will be an article right at the top called a topic overview, and that gives you a really nice overview of the topic. So this one, for example, it is a short biography of her, so this is a good place to start with if they have that. Otherwise, you see we have 105 topics, so we can narrow them down a little bit on the left here. We can narrow it down to what kind of source we're looking for. Maybe we're just wanting to do a biography of her, so maybe we'll narrow it down to just biographies and encyclopedia entries. And that brings us down to just 7 articles, and that will be a little bit easier now to just go through the 7 articles. And when you want to read the article, you click on where it says here HTML full text, and it will open up right here in the browser and you can read it. Explora is a little bit difficult to use compared to some of our other resources like the encyclopedia, but it is well worth it if you're doing a project where you need a lot of information. And of course, if you have any problems with it, you can always ask a librarian to help you. You can email us, ask us at nwpl.ca, or when the library is open again, call us or come in, and we're more than happy to help you with any projects that you have for school. So there are many other good websites out there on the internet. These are just ones that the library subscribes to, that you need your library card or the library website to access, and you will always know that these resources are fairly accurate, authoritative. You will always get good information from these, but sometimes you need to find information online just through Google because you need more information, a wider variety of resources. And in another video, I will talk a little bit about how to evaluate those sources that you find online. So be sure to watch that video as well. Thanks for listening. Bye.